Oh, wow. I mean, that's so crazy. Y'all said Gervonta Davis was ducking. Hey, yo, listen in the brand new interview, top-ranked founder, creator, Bob Arum. Terrence Crawford, he's not a good salesman. But Lomachenko, right? Bob Arum did a brand new interview, and he says that his side, top-ranked, TR, in talks with Gervonta's side, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, PBC Promotions on Amazon Prime is up. Listen, for a possible fight in the future. Roll the clip.
The truth is we've been talking to the PBC people all along. So we'll absolutely resume conversations next week after this fight, assuming Tank is successful on Saturday. But again, it won't be like the start of negotiations. We've been talking, or Carl Moretti has been talking with Louis DeCubas for a couple of weeks now about that fight. And hopefully we'll put it together expeditiously for sometime in November.
Boom. You never know. Got him. So Bob Arum just did that brand new interview ahead of Tank's upcoming fight. Tank fights tonight against Frank Martin. Now, Bob Arum did suggest that Tank would have to be successful. There's a rematch clause in the fight, Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. So if Tank were to lose, it would be highly likely if he loses to Frank Martin, even though he's the favorite. But if he were to lose, it would be highly unlikely that he moved forth with someone. He would likely do a rematch with Frank Martin, who would then be the champion within the WBA at lightweight. So Bob Arum made this clear that it's contingent on Tank Davis securing the victory, which I think he will. We shall see tonight, but I think Tank gets it done here. Like Frank Martin, but it is what it is. One guy got to win, one guy got to lose, and it is what it is. So I like that. And now I don't like to get too ahead of myself. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit a like, hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. If you're a fan of boxing, then this is the channel for you. If you know boxing, let me rephrase that. If you know boxing, because I don't want a bunch of scrubs on the channel who don't really care or respect the sport. So if you know boxing, subscribe. If not, be on your way. Now, a lot of the haters, the naysayers, the negative Nancys, the toxic crusaders, the usual suspects, old media, the shape shifters, a lot of them had a lot to say about Gervonta Davis, constantly hating, constantly trying to find things to complain about. And it's so funny because all of my content, the great thing about making online content and having your business fully online is you get instantaneous feedback. And there's a paper trail and breadcrumbs of everything that you've done. Like, not all jobs work like that. So I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the channel. But I'm fortunate and blessed to be in a position where I can always date back my work and be like, hey, remember this video? And show you guys the footprints and the footprints in the sand of things that I've said that came true. You know, it is what it is. And a lot of people hated on Tank Davis. I told you that was a thing. He has a lot of support, but he also has a lot of hate. And the haters say stuff about Lomachenko and Tank would lose to Lomachenko. The work I've already done, I told you guys Lomachenko looked sharp in his last performance with George Kambosos. He took a guy who's game, who's durable, fought him in his backyard, and what Devin Haney couldn't do, and Devin Haney, keep in mind, Devin Haney's a rated top guy, especially at 135. He's a top guy at 135. He was undisputed at 135. He beat Kambosos at 135 2 times. So in 24 rounds, what Devin Haney couldn't do, Lomachenko, not having the most activity, I would say, with being in a war-torn country and with not having the size of like a Devin Haney, somebody who's going to replenish and rehydrate 25 pounds, that's not really Lomachenko's bag. He doesn't look like he has these crazy weight cuts and then balloons back up 20+ pounds overnight. So based on that, Devin Haney does do those things, and Devin Haney had 24 rounds in Australia to try to stop Kambosos, but he wasn't able to solve that puzzle to get Kambosos out of there. Lomachenko in his first attempt, he beat George Kambosos, dropped him, and stopped him. Devin Haney, to my knowledge, I don't think in those 24 rounds he even dropped George Kambosos. That's why you always got to be who you are as a fighter. And I told you guys this. Devin Haney chose to fight Ryan Garcia like head up, like he was Subriel Matias or something with the power. And that's just really not his bag. So I never understood that game plan from Team Haney. And that's why, because the way I look at it, if you're not stopping a guy like George Kambosos at that weight, who's definitely someone that, let's just say he can be stopped. Like if Tank fought George Kambosos, I would definitely pick Tank to stop George Kambosos. But Devin Haney's not stopping him. And at the end of the day, Devin Haney's going the full distance 2 times, 24 rounds with him. Doesn't drop or stop him. Lomachenko, bow, first time he fights George Kambosos. Similar situation at home where Kambosos is the lead guy. That's his home turf. That's where he's from. He's Australian, and Lomachenko stops him. So fast forward to the future, Lomachenko's coming off of a good win, and he's coming off looking sharp. Now, the shapeshifters, what they're going to do is if Tank beats Frank Martin and these talks intensify, and let's say Tank really fights Lomachenko, old media is going to make a bunch of excuses like, oh, he was just old and Lomachenko was too old for him, etc. But he just fought George Kambosos and looked good, so you can't say he was too old. But that's what they're going to do, because they feel if Tank beats Frank Martin at this stage of his career, I don't know who's going to pick Lomachenko to beat Tank when he lost to Teofimo younger, he lost to Devin Haney close, younger. Tank is just a destructive animal. I really see, and this might sound crazy to y'all, I could see Frank Martin being a tougher fight than the Lomachenko, because he's younger than Lomachenko. He's a southpaw like Lomachenko, but I think he's hitting harder. So Tank will have to be on the up and up. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Tank definitely has to be on his P's and Q's with a sharp counterpuncher. Lomachenko, he's there to be hit because he uses his footwork to get in range, and then he like throws punches and bunches. Only problem with these athletic styles, as you've seen with Roy Jones, Sergio Martinez, guys like even Deontay Wilder more recently, over time, Father Time is undefeated. So these athletic styles, when you start slowing down, it just makes you a different fighter almost, because you're not necessarily reliant on fundamentals, but you're reliant on a lot more, athleticism and pressing the gas when others can't at that time, like in your prime. And you just got these athletic dynamics, we'll say, and these athletic dynamics separate you. But if you don't have the fundamentals and then you slow down just a hair, then other people can catch you. You're not quite so dynamic as you once were. But great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it does happen. I've always told you what I thought about the fight. I'd like to see it, to see if I'm right or wrong. You let me know who would win, Tank versus Lomachenko. But Bob Arum says they have been in talks for some time already. So that's definitely positive news. Make sure you guys check out that interview.
It just shows what I'm capable of. You can't knock me. It doesn't matter. If me and Lomachenko fight, it doesn't matter. It will show when me and him meet. Whenever we can meet tomorrow. It will show. I promise you. It's not light over here. I'm not sweet. Lomachenko went in there. He was over trying to think he was so better than Pedraza, because I beat him the way I beat him, and then it didn't look too good for him. You see, he was bruised up more than I was.